And this is the sad part with this generation being told that if you have a child, you gotta quit this and you gotta quit that. No, you don't. You're just gonna have to work harder. By you taking a shortcut just proves that you're weak. If you want to support the channel, go down below, hit the link down in the description. Get some Goober Can't Reason merch. Atheism Fails merch. Support the channel. What is up, everyone? This is Expounder. Today we're going to be reacting to Fallen in Reverse Prequel. And it's a new one, came out 4 days ago. And it has almost 4,000 dislikes. The majority of it's good likes. What I like to say is that if you dislike the video, comment what your thoughts were on it then. If you don't, then the dislike I just don't consider to be true. Alright, let's get into this. Oh. Dune?
Dear diary, I've been searching for a higher me. I'm in the sky in the pilot seat, trying to stop my mind from spiraling, and that's irony, I'm just looking for a resolution. I just wanna be a better human, but it's hard when everybody's acting stupid. Pardon me if that came off rude, I just have a bad attitude with the world and not just with you. It's the side effects.
Oh, wait a second.
I'm just looking for a resolution. I just wanna be a better human, but it's hard when everybody's acting stupid. Pardon me if that came off rude, I just have a bad attitude with the world and not just with you. It's the side effects of abuse. I admit I'm a little strange. I don't think that I'll ever change. I survived a whole life of pain. You could say I escaped my fate. I'm a cynical, egotistical, unpredictable, hardened criminal, and I could be a little hypocritical, but I'll admit it straight to your face.
This gives off NF vibes right now. It does. And it gives off Dune vibes too. But I'm liking it so far. The graphics, the picture, everything good so far. I like the lyrics, but we're gonna start over and watch a little bit of it again.
I just have a bad attitude with the world and not just with you. It's the side effects of abuse. I admit I'm a little strange. I don't think that I'll ever change. I survived a whole life of pain. You could say I escaped my fate.
Okay, I like it. I like the fact that it's basically him admitting that the abuse has changed him and made him think a certain way, be a certain way. It made him who he is now. He's not going to change it, and you're just going to have to accept it. That's kind of how I see things. You know, I am the way I am. I am who I am. I speak the way I speak. I come off the way I come off. Why? Because of my past. Can I change the past? No. Can I change the way that I come off? Absolutely yes. But is it necessary? I don't think so. Because I don't think people should be matching the description of every single other person. I think you have to have different people. I think instead of having always the nice teacher, I think you should always have the mean teacher that gets through, okay? And some people like that. Some people are raised in a family with like nice parents and everything, and some parents raise their children as sergeants, and you will not refer to us as mom and dad. You'll refer to us as sir and ma'am. And sometimes that works for the child, sometimes it doesn't. We need a little bit of difference sometimes. I know some kids that have been raised by little sergeant parents, and they come out the most dick kids in the world. Like they're the worst. Disrespectful, everything. And then I know some that are the most respectful, hardworking kids. So it all depends on the person. But can we change the past? No. You just gotta work with it. You can't make everybody the same. You can't. The world would be boring if you did.
I'm a cynical, egotistical, unpredictable, hardened criminal, and I can be a little hypocritical, but I'll admit it straight to your face. I'm unbreakable, irreplaceable, undeniably inspirational. I use everything I had available to make me the person I am today.
Yeah. I mean, straightforward, yeah. This stuff oh, here comes the religious part, I guess? Okay. But yeah, I mean, everything that I really don't care. People call me judgmental. People call me forceful. People call me an extremist. Whatever it is, I don't care. I am who I am. I'm gonna continue doing what I've always done. Okay, when I go out to do street ministry, if the church wants to go ahead and call me an extremist and, you know, a Bible thumper, go right ahead. I know I don't do that, and if you watch my videos of street evangelism, you would know that I don't do that. So I mean, what can I say? What can I say more besides stop judging a book by its cover, pay attention, and examine before you judge? People don't want to do that. too much work. Too much work to actually look at people and be like, oh, well, you got a lot of problems, but I'm gonna work with that. I'm gonna work alongside with you. Let's work together. It's too much.
Dear diary, I just had another wild dream. I was in a world that admired me, and when I woke up I was smiling, and that's irony. You talk a lot but you don't even know me. I'm just hoping that my testimony will inspire y'all to stop acting phony. Pardon me if that came off weird. I don't mean to be mean, I swear. I have been through a lot this year. I just want to make a few things clear. I don't like it when people hate behind my back and not to my face. Nowadays it just feels so fake.
This gives me like a Jewish vibe right now. So the cross came upon and appeared. This gives me Dune vibes. I know it gives me Dune, the movie Dune. But showing the cross before and then him walking over and people following him, it's as if he's trying to profess himself as like the Messiah. Now I know he's not really doing that. It just looks like that. He's playing an act where people will follow and listen to you, and no matter your problems, or these are people with the same problems and they look up to you. So I'm gonna go back. So step by step, following him.
I have been through a lot this year. I just want to make a few things clear. I don't like it when people hate behind my back and not to my face. Nowadays it just feels so fake. So I'll cut the grass to expose the snakes. I'm unstoppable, it's impossible. You don't want to see the diabolical side of me that never stops is volatile. So I suggest you stay in your lane. I'm unapologetic, you know where it's headed.
It is actually, it's honestly funny when church leaders and people judge you on what you're doing and they have never done it before. People that have never went and street evangelized ever, I think should have no say in how to do it. Okay? Because here's the thing. Street evangelism, when you hear it, oh, you're a Bible thumper. You preach hellfire. You do this and that. It has a bad word to it. Okay? In reality, when you look at what I do, I set up a banner, a table, and I stand there and I play gospel music just very low, not loud. People come to me and we talk. Is that Bible thumping? Is that preaching hellfire? Because we had a guy that did that. He held a sign that says God's going to come to destroy the church and the world. Okay? And he says repent today. Okay? That's hellfire. That's Bible thumping. And he wouldn't answer to anybody. He wouldn't talk to anybody. He wouldn't do anything. He would judge you. He would criticize you on everything that you did. He even criticized me because I was wearing jeans. Matter of fact, I would say he's as far as being a pervert because he's like, oh, you wear skinny jeans. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, your private parts are showing. What? But you're the only one that looks down there. You're the only one that's looked down there. Aren't you supposed to be like a holy man? But that was his way of doing it, okay? He came over to my table. He started yelling and screaming in his mic. Yeah, it was not a good time. But I get a bad rep because of people like him. But also, I get a bad rep from church people because that's what they see is the Bible thumpers. The street evangelists that go out there and they Bible thump. If you haven't done it, stay out of it. Do not try to give me advice that you're not experienced in, okay? I think you're a fool by trying to give me advice on things you have no idea about, okay? If a child was adopted by parents who were not adopted, and that orphanage abused them and starved them and etc., how are you as a parent that never went through all that stuff gonna help that child? You have to address the problems. But you don't know what it feels like. You don't know what they went through. This is why I can relate to so many kids in my church is because of that. I went through rejection, pain, suicide. I was hurt. I was pushed out of the group circles, even when we went on campouts with the family. People didn't understand that. That stuff was affecting me. It was hurting me. And then they try to give me advice on how to deal with it. It didn't work. Honestly, it made me even more angry. Sometimes I felt like I was being pushed more to the point where I was going to act on it. It's as if they wanted me to act on it. Just stay in your lane. If you haven't experienced it or done it, stay in your lane. Do not try to give me advice. That's my personal opinion.
It's impossible. You don't want to see the diabolical side of me that never stops is volatile. So I suggest you stay in your lane. I'm unapologetic. You know where it's headed. I will never ever let up off the pedal. I got the spirit of every warrior in me. I'm back the fuck up. Get out.
It's like Revelation.
You praise the fascist. You kiss the hand that takes half in taxes.
What did I just say? Huh, the mark. people are becoming no different from each other. They're just falling in line, falling for every little thing.
And you praise the fascists. You kiss the hand that takes half in taxes, faking outrage and being seen. A generation with no self-esteem. It's time to rise up and stand against them. Break the chains and finally see the vision.
Bro, falling in verse. We gotta talk, bro. We gotta talk. We gotta talk about the symbolism you got in your video. Were those girls are pregnant and they were walking off a cliff into what? A furnace? So they're worshiping a figure, okay? And it looks like him, falling in reverse, okay.
Break the chains and finally see the vision. We're post-traumatic from a broken system. Follow me into the chaos engine. It's time to stand under outrage and being seen. A generation with no self-esteem. It's time.
So pregnant women walking off a cliff. Into what? Like they're just sacrificing themselves? To me, this is like women that I think women, the greatest gift that women provide is life, okay? And that's an amazing thing. That is something a man can't do. And a man couldn't even go through the pain of that. And a woman does. The love that a woman has for her children is outright ridiculous. It's amazing. But they can also be quickly swayed. And this is the sad part with this generation being told that if you have a child, you gotta quit this and you gotta quit that. No, you don't. You're just gonna have to work harder. By you taking a shortcut just proves that you're weak. Be with a guy who is there for you, works hard for you, to protect you, and possibly even you to be a stay-home wife. It's your choice, but to, TikTok quote, to unalive somebody because you want to have a better career, I think that's very selfish. And it just shows how brainwashed you are. You love money more than life.
Generation with no self-esteem. It's time to rise up and stand against them. Break the chains and finally see the vision. We're post-traumatic from a broken system. Follow me into the chaos engine. It's time to stand. It's time to fight. Don't be afraid to twist the knife. Your sacrifice to break the curse. Prepare to die. Prepare to burn. Abandon hope. It's not enough. Cause all our gods abandon us. Your sacrifice to...
Huh. Dude, this has a lot. I'll tell you one thing. I do not believe that God has abandoned us. It might feel like that at points because of just how evil the world is. But then again, it comes down to the person. The person's heart is the problem. Many people don't want there to be a God. And if you were to ask the question if Christianity were true, would you become a Christian? They would say no. Why? Because they don't want it to be true. It's not a fact that they would believe it if it was true. They just don't want it to be true. God provided a way, and it was Jesus Christ. If people say that what Jesus taught was great and amazing and worth following, then why don't you follow Jesus then? And then they'll point to the Christians. The Christians do this and did that throughout history and etc. and blah blah blah. Yeah, the Christians have done tremendous evil things in the world. We have. That's why we don't follow people in religion. We follow Jesus. A true follower of Jesus will produce fruits that you will know as a true follower of Christ. Stop blaming God for how people are reacting when they choose to react that way. Because I will tell you 3 things that people want to follow: sex, money, and power. That's what the devil has offered you. And if you want to take those 3 things, then you have fallen for the devil, you are blind, and you are the problem.
Break the curse, light the match, watch it burn!
So I was talking about this in a previous video. I was talking about the dangers of being a Pharisee and the mind view of how certain things have to be a certain way, and you're pushing it and you don't really believe in a God, but you act on it and you say it's true and etc. The Pharisees and why Jesus was crucified. Jesus was crucified because he came in fulfilling the law professing himself to be God. He did all the things, the miracles. He fulfilled every little thing. The descriptions of the Messiah in the Old Testament from Ezekiel and Jeremiah matched with Jesus perfectly fine. He fulfilled everything. He did what the suffering Messiah did, the humble servant did. He did everything, okay? The Pharisees, when Jesus spoke to the Pharisees in, I think, Matthew, he was pointing out all the flaws of the Pharisees and Sadducees and the scribes. He was pointing out that you really don't believe in God. You're just doing this because you want to look good, okay? You're just doing this because you want to look holy, but you're not. You teach the law, but it's not saving people because it's not the law that saves, it's faith in God that saves. And that was all throughout the Old Testament too. The law didn't save, it was being obedient to God. They crucified him because he stood up and said stuff about it. He pointed out the obvious. He was trying to make people closer to God, and they crucified him for it. So, selfish desires, sex, money, and power, living in a worldview that is a narcissistic worldview, is dangerous because you end up killing and crucifying those who want to do good. You have to be like me. You have to do this and you have to do that. It's a false utopia. That's why I don't get why people can agree with socialism and communism and dictatorships. I don't get why people can agree with that because it's selfish desires and false promises that you get with those three governments. And anybody who doesn't follow, you get killed. You get slaughtered. You get brainwashed and think that these certain groups of people are dangerous. We need to get rid of them. Mass annihilation, etc. happen. And then you blame God for all these problems. You blame God because you chose to fall in line with the devil and his false promises, the same promises that he promised Adam and Eve in the garden. The false promises that he also tried to get Jesus to listen to. It is a spiritual war between God and the devil. It is. Christ is the only way and is the only thing that's going to save us all.
Goobers can't reason.
Dang. So everything was post-apocalyptic. It was biblical references all throughout the whole video. It was I would say not an exactly 100% accurate description and for say of Jesus, but it does explain why things happened. He was being worshipped. He was pushing these ideas. People agreed with it. Stay out of, stop worshiping the government, doing this and doing that because of your selfish needs and etc. But then everything turned and they crucified him, killed him because he was making a difference. Oh boy, Fallen in Reverse, you do a great job. You do a great job in your music. The way you picture everything is awesome. The symbolism, keep it up, bro. Keep it up, dude. I honestly love it.